Stream information corrected. The greater power hid itself like a burrowing spider in the sand, while Arthas's soul was more like a burly cop or bouncer that was barely restraining themselves from unsheathing their weapon. It's like the best way I can even fucking explain him.
There's also Ner'zhul that you have to add, though.
I feel like Ner'zhul is either going to be caught up in the greater power at the moment, or is going to be masked by Arthas. So, it's like...
There's a third presence that she can barely make out at points, but
maybe
she can't be definite. Yeah, that would be the most. Because, as you said, it's either going to be subsumed in the dominance, because he's been melded with it for however many years at this point.
Yeah.
20 at this point.
Yeah.
Or going to be hidden behind Arthas, who is the dominant force.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. That's kind of what I was thinking. Like, she's not too attuned yet. Yeah, like experienced, attuned, etc.
Yeah.
Also positioning her as still weaker than the Lich King without him using Lich King powers.
Yes. Eventually she'll get up there, but she's inexperienced from hell. Sure, she has the raw power, but she doesn't have the finesse that he has.
She also doesn't know if she can be no-souled by whatever the greater power is, which, honestly, that's always been Taylor's biggest flaw, is usually she does have the power or the creativity to take on a target, but she doesn't because she's worried.
She overhypes her opponent in some regard. Is the simple way to put it, I think.
Sort of, I don't know. It's hard to say because, like, what she does this multiple times through the story of Worm, and where that she like works up the image of her opponent in her mind, and then reacts to that level of force, and then is like, "Oh, wait,
I've overdone it."
Whoops. They were not, in fact, as strong as I thought they were.
Yep.
Oopsie whoopsie, I did a fucky wucky.
Indeed. I'm waiting for Max to tell a really good joke, you know? But in the meanwhile, gentlemen, let us begin. Of Fanfiction, Contempt Theater 9006. And excuse any slurring you start to hear from me. I have acquired a nice, lovely $1.50 entire wine bottle of peach juice.
All right.
And then I poured a shit ton of rum into it.
Oh no.
Like a good maybe like fourth of the 2-liter bottle.
Because that's what the doctor ordered.
Exactly. All right, so let's get stuck into it, gentlemen. So, what do you feel tonight? Since I don't have any Max or Atin to torture, I'm willing to go some free ball here. What are you guys feeling?
I got nothing.
No?
Worm.
Worm? Alright, let's do some Worm.
Books?
Right. I mean, it's topical.
It's topical.
We did just spend 5 minutes going off about it for a bit.
I suppose so. Only 1.5 thousand Worm stories. Honestly, too many.
Yeah, most of them are on XP or SP.
Yeah.
And over 3/4 of them should be torn off from the internet.
Yeah.
Including the source material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another great story from MP3 Player. Great Grand Uncle Schmimmelhorn's Toolbox. The life of Hebert changes a lot rather when Danny and Taylor use rarest superpower of all, which is talk to each other. Of course, things go weird when in the process of talking to each other, they look into the attic and they come across Papa Schmimmelhorn's old toolbox.
What?
Huh?
Turns out Taylor has something of a knack. A knack for what? And it runs in the family. I don't know what that... I don't know what that means.
Your guess is as good as mine on that.
Pretty much.
Anyway, enough about that depression. Let's move on. Wake up call. Lisa Wilborn once explained to Taylor Hebert that she was asexual. Nope, we already saw this one too. Taylor catches Lisa and they slap each other.
Alright then.
Yeah. Schlap, not slap. Key difference there.
Mm-hmm.
So a euphemism for fucking.
Yes. Worm, she's dead, Jim. What if one of Taylor's teen tormentors was taken out? Tightly. No, I'm just kidding. He didn't put that one in there. What might the aftermath be from Taylor's perspective? The fuck? What? What happens if one of her bullies dies? I mean, if Taylor didn't do it, then
nothing happens.
I mean, maybe she gets bullied more now? I don't know.
I'd want to say she dances a happy little jig, but this is Taylor. She would mourn for the death of her bully,
Probably.
especially if it was Emma.
Yeah, this is early Taylor, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also depends on which one of them.
Yeah, also true, yeah. 10 chapters,
It's always selfish to
17,000
fuck up.
words. So we got 1.7k words per chapter. Updating at a rate of, it looks like posted March 2nd, updated July 6th. So that's like, what, 4 chapters? 2 chapters a month of 1.7k words?
Ugh.
That's kind of low.
And you're trying to do an entire Cascade what-if scenario as your plot? Well, you know, I guess we'll check in with you in 2030 when you finally get to the Leviathan arc.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Her
Well,
barks...
It tends to kill authors anyway.
Oh, yeah, I know. It's hilarious. They really should start including his authorial kill rate in his kill statistics.
Alright.
Oh, great! Max is here. Now I can tell the joke.
Oh, no.
So 2 sheep herders meet one day, and one says to the other, "Call me Cain if you're able."
God damn it, Sneaky.
Why don't I have... Never have I wanted to have a ban button on your profile as much as I do right now. Oh, that was awful. That wasn't... Oh, God. That wasn't blasphemous. It wasn't insulting. It was just awful.
That's the best part.
Ah, that was a dad joke you just told.
I know.
Oh,
It came to me this morning when I was, working on an on-site, and I was like, I have to hold on to this one.
oh, great. So it's original. Lovely.
Yeah. Yeah, it's original.
Oh,
It's a sneaky original.
Be ashamed of yourself.
No, he fucking Googled that.
Mm-mm. Nope. I don't Google jokes. I'm made of pure humoronium.
Pure bullshitium.
All right. Well,
That's another name for it. If you use metrics.
You mean like my personal favorite unit of measurement, the metric fucking ton?
Yes. I was glad I finished taking my medicine before that.
You know, that probably helped ease the joke.
Yeah.
It was in between the water and in between the medication.
Ah, yes.
So the perfect time.
Good. Her bark is worse than her bite. Amy Dallion, Panacea, Brockton Bay's greatest healer.
Author? No, world's greatest.
Yes. But, a guilt-ridden, sarcastic, vindictive teenager with many issues. A circumstance of fate. What?
So a normal teenager.
Yes. A circumstance of fate, while coming home from the hospital one night, leads her to an amazing discovery. Putting on a mask and beating people up is very satisfying. Fair.
I imagine.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, why else would so many people be doing it?
So, I did want to read this one real quick right before we got into trying to read that one. Worm CYOA. This my first ever fanfic. This story about Kitsu, normal person turned case 53, who thrown into worm follow her. She run around world of worm being little menace worm semi-self insert CYOA. Main character childish, impulsive, and overpowered. I have no beta, still learning as writer. Yes, you are, author.
Oh no.
Yes, you are.
This is somebody's little.
Joined May 26th. Posted story May 27th.
Yeah, you get the 24-hour waiting period.
I feel like this is a throwaway. I feel this is...
but not for somebody who actually typically writes.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even if somebody is making a throwaway account to shitpost, typically you can tell it's somebody who does this frequently.
Oh God.
It gets worse.
The story starts off with an ellipses.
Oh no.
That's it. It's just an ellipses. Also, it's taking place in Boston. So glad you could join us. What? I think groggily as I try to stand up. Asterisk, slam, asterisk. Only to fall onto hard concrete as I notice something wrong. My body isn't moving right. Ow, I say without punctuation. What? Who said that? Why did it hurt? I've had nerve damage since I was 5 years old. I have difficulty recognizing touch-based stimuli.
Oh no.
Okay. If I hold a plate of hot macaroni, I won't notice the heat until my hands are already red from first-degree burns. Or if I scratch my forehead, I'll feel it in my nose. Okay. Who said that? I say. Oh no, that please no. Hello, I said in a very high-pitched voice that is not my own. Looking up, I get a better view of my current location. It's midday. I'm in barren alleyway, reddish-brown brickwork buildings, and dilapidated concrete pavement. As opposed to dilapidated non-concrete pavement?
Pavement comes in different types, Sneaky. You could have pavement, concrete, or asphalt.
Oh. Okay.
Especially in older cities where they haven't, replaced that shit in years.
Yeah, because the pavement part is that's just a tar, right?
Yeah, that's the black top, but
Right.
sometimes they extend the black top off, mark it off, and call it the sidewalk. Especially in rural areas.
Yes. Or as I say, 3-point zones.
Yes.
Let's see, cracked with weeds popping up here and there. I recognized none of this. Maybe somewhere in Old Town Atin. My sister, which is capitalized, lives there with her kids not too far from my home in. What hell is going on? I shout. I pride myself on my long-term memory. Okay? I can't recall my own house, or my sister's name, or much of anything. It's like all of my memories were wiped and swapped with basic Wikipedia-based trivia of the facts of my life. Early years!
Really, Arthur?
I'm sorry, no, I was making the Wikipedia joke.
Which? Oh,
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, there's the other one. You can expand this. You can help by expanding this article.
Well, yes, there's that one, but I was talking more about the early years.
Yeah, I got it.
Well, now that's no way for a young lady to talk, a smooth, deep voice calmly says from behind me. Looking behind me, I see thin man, easily twice my size, if not more. Fair skin, relaxed posture, dark slicked back hair, wearing dirty white button-up blue jeans. He looks like Johnny Depp, if I'm honest. Why is he covered in blood? Hi, I say diminutively. God, why am I panicking so much? I'm normally calm under stress, I say, after I had just finished exclaiming about how I don't remember anything about my life. Hello there, little girl. I understand this is not the calmest of situations, no excuse for foul language, he says. Why does he seem familiar? Why is there a rising sense of urgency in my gut? Wait, little girl? I get up and run stumble in opposite direction, 90% scared out of my mind, 10% looking for reflective surface. The man just chuckles as I run. Getting to the end of the alleyway. So wait, you were looking for a reflective surface In a city alleyway? Okay.
I mean, broken bottles. Maybe.
So I exit the alleyway, and I am greeted by a horrific sight. Corpses everywhere, mauled, mutilated, and in every other state of carnage you can think of. A little girl in a blue dress is skipping towards me alongside a naked white tiger lady devouring an arm. And a few tiny machine corpse spider things. Think small version of monsters from Maze Runner movie, which they immaculately remember instead of what their name is.
God damn it, this is an S9 inserted in it.
Maybe. Yes, it's supposed to be Jack Slash.
That's the
Also,
slaughterhouse.
they're at case 53. It should be very obvious. Oh God, I think with absolute dread. Please let this be a dream. I am going to wake up. This is not the Siberian. That was not Jack Slash in the alleyway. I don't. I'm gonna be sick. Hee hee ha ha hee hee ha 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 hee ha. I start giggling before breaking into nervous laugh. Hello, little girl said happily. Are you here to play with us? Snapping out of my mini breakdown. I start backing away back into the alley. Now, Jack said, stepping up behind me. We can't do away with that. I found this little one in the alley, so I figured we could all play a little game. At this, the little girl, who I deduced was Bonesaw, smiled even bigger.
Okay, you can't remember your name, but you can remember characters from a fucking web novel?
A web novel that was released 10 years ago.
A shitty web novel that was released 10 years ago.
Yeah. Can't remember your name, though.
Selective amnesia. Laser guided, even.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, they did say she was a Wikipedia.
Also, this is a CYOA,
Damn.
so that's definitely one of the drawbacks.
Damn, fucking cats
Like,
just coming in, hip firing.
Yeah. Listen, if you're gonna have any Wikipedia, why the fuck would you choose the worm one?
Woo! Good point.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't you have the Wikipedia of racist acts?
exactly. Am I going to get a little sister? She exclaimed with only an exclamation mark as she doesn't ask a question. And she shrieks with excitement. Maybe we'll have to see how well she behaves, Jack says. Apparently his name is Jack Says now.
Jack says calmly like Dumbledore.
I'm sorry. Are you guys familiar with the video game version of Simon Says?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever seen any of the Swifter Says YouTube clips?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
The shorts.
Right, so basically it evolved from a really old custom map in Counter-Strike called Prison, and the terrorists spawned in these literal cells with only a knife, and the counter-terrorists were fully kitted out because they were the prison guards and the terrorists were the prisoners.
Yeah.
And
they have to do Simon Says or they'll just get killed.
Yeah. So you basically, that's typically what everyone runs. Sometimes people have free days and they get to explore the map and shit like that. And the authors always make sure to include a whole bunch of shit you can find on the map to break into the prison warden's room and do shit. But anyway, point being, Warden says, Swifter says, And so now my brain's just like, Jack says, and then my brain was like, you know, Jack Slash, if he knew about this, would absolutely take a town hostage, give them all guns, and proceed to do, Warden says, take 3 steps forward. Now take 1 step back. Warden says, shoot everyone that took 1 step back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jack says, kill yourself now.
no, he wouldn't do that directly.
No.
Yeah, true.
That's too easy.
More like, shoot the person next to you. Oh, I didn't say Jack says. Anyway. Also, Jack says calmly. Now my brain just fuck. What the Dumbledore said calmly.
Yeah. Oh.
Harry, I can only give you 50 points for this.
Harry, I hope you understand why I can only give you 45 points for what you've done.
Harry Potter! Did you tell the trans community that the cutting curse is a gender reassignment surgery? There's no bleeding down there! How dare you!
See,
For
that's
this,
the
I
thing
can
though,
only
is
give
like,
you-
with Harry Potter,
45
I don't really think there would be one.
I mean, yeah, not really. I mean, if you want to be a different gender, just use polyjuice once every
Well,
hour.
I mean, it's not even... Well, it's not even polyjuice. It's literally like, self-transfiguration is literally a permanent thing you can do.
Yeah, true. And Tonk's
effort
thing is
and skill.
literally just kind of a cheat code. Anyone can usually do that sort of shit with years of practice. She can just do it instinctively.
Yeah.
If years of practice, there's the problem.
Oh, well, sure, but you can also turn other people into a fucking full-on ferret. I'm pretty sure a dick is, like, way simpler than a complete genealogy change.
And hey, if they're not willing to put in the effort to change their gender with magic, I mean, were they really trans in the first place?
Oh my god, Kaz.
True. They don't deserve it if the answer is just sitting right there and they're not willing to go for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
But, you would have to change literally everything about the body.
I mean, I just find it more
legs
amusing
included.
that they came after J.K. Rowling over this shit, and then they go on to make a highly diversive game, you know, Hogwarts Legends, and where they're like, oh, it's like, oh yeah, Hogwarts, they're filled with minorities, all sorts of minorities, and it's like, okay, well, this is a prequel to the movies, which has 99% white kids.
So what happened?
So what did Dumbledore do over those years?
No, Sneaky, it was for the greater good. Grindelwald said so.
Yeah.
Obviously.
For the greater good.
What exactly did Dumbledore get up to over those years? Oh, God. And they made that canon! That's the best part!
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made it canon that the gay Nazi supporter, under the tutelage of the gay Nazi, the school went from extremely diverse to whites only.
With one tanned Italian.
Oh, God. Everyone knows Italians aren't white.
Yeah. And then a couple of Irish.
Can we keep those topics for your secret?
Yes.
Please.
Let's get back to Bonesaw casually torturing a child.
I mean, yeah.
You know, I'm not comfortable with the child knowing how to torture another child. I'll be real.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, it's
you don't like Cannon Worm's Grimderp?
No, I don't, surprisingly, you know? As much as I will say that I did enjoy when I read it, a lot of that stuff was uncomfortable even going through it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fridge horror, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyway, torture time. And let's see if we can't clean that potty mouth from her earlier. At that, Bonesaw pouts angrily. Bad words are for bad girls. I don't want a little sister if she's gonna be bad. Jack.
Wait.
Hmm?
The self-insert is younger than Bonesaw.
Yes.
They de-aged the self-insert.
Isn't Bonesaw like not even 10? Or is he 10?
Also possibly transed.
Oh, definitely trans.
Because they were panicking over being turned into a little girl.
I think it's somebody's fetish.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be fair, it's still better than the fucking Ghost in Panacea's head fic.
Wasn't that by who was that?
That was...
CK?
Was that what you're referring to? I Panacea?
Oh,
Yeah.
Mike the security guard?
Yeah, Mike the security guard gets yeah, that was
Here's the thing, I enjoyed reading that because it was fucking hilarious that everyone's taking this at face value.
I think
Explanations.
I think you need to take into context, however, Mike the security guard, the story before that.
Mm.
Like, it makes a lot more sense if you read the one that came before I Panacea.
No, then I'm not thinking of I Panacea, I'm thinking of something else. We've bitched about it in the SDM, where a guy dies in a car accident and then asks his death if he can get reincarnated as a woman because he's trans and he's from really Christian family and was trans and never came out because of his family. And then he ends up in Panacea's head as a ghost on the day that Taylor ends up in the hospital or something and fucking
that's
bad.
That's very different.
And he fucking
Panacea,
groom / gaslights her?
Yes, and Panacea apparently sees Frumpy Taylor and thinks she's the most beautiful thing in the fucking world.
Oh!
And the ghost says, get your head in the game.
Yes! I remember that!
After 2 or 3 chapters, and only like half a chapter of Panacea freaking out that she's got a grown-ass man in her fucking head controlling her body.
Yes, that's what it was. We stopped reading it because it was so fucking fetishy. Because he took over Panacea's body, and she was still watching him do it.
Yes. And while he sometimes let her drive, that was only after like a chapter or 2 of her freaking out. And literally, we only got through like 2 or 3 chapters of it before everyone gave up on it because of how fucking bad it was.
Yeah, I think I've stumbled across this before and gave up on it.
Yeah, like that. Yeah. Oh, that was a fucking. Ugh.
That was a shit show.
Yo, yeah, man, I totally have fantasies about taking over young pubescent girls' bodies as they watch on in horror as I use them to do lesbian sex.
Yeah.
Okay, buddy.
Where only for like a single sentence, Panacea tries to scream, "Vicky, there's a master in my head," and then it just gets kind of overlooked.
I don't like how progressively uncomfortable this is getting.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
this isn't even one of those things where like I've just been hit by a train
of words
from exponential growth. It was just a slow slide.
Oh yeah, just right off the right off the fucking bat. It's one of those stories where I was just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. By like a quarter of the way through the first chapter, you knew it was going to be a shit show, but you kept reading and you realized, wait, I didn't expect it to be this fucking bad.
You had to see the train wreck.
Wait, no, hang on, I want to go back. I want to go back.
Reverse backspace delete.
I hate how bad that fic is, and reading only one chapter has let it live rent free in my fucking head.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't remember any of the stories I read until it comes time for me to remember them again, when I can torture more people with them.
As in now.
Yes. I don't know. I don't know how this works for anyone else, but like, I don't like actively like sit there and fucking remember shit. Like, I always get fucking like piled on by my father and my mother, and they're always like, "Oh, why do you always bring up, you know, your stepmom?" I'm like, because you're talking about my stepmom.
Yeah.
It's like I'm just responding to memories I'm actively remembering. So you really gotta stop like thinking about that stuff. I'm like, I literally didn't think about my stepmother until you brought her up for like the past like 7 months. So...
Well, that's their fault.
I have a bit like that, but I also just sometimes randomly have a memory pop into my head.
Oh, well, yeah, there's also the occasional random memory where we're like, oh yeah, I did that thing. Oh, why did I do that?
Yeah. Or the random half-complete memory where you think, where you remember a good fic or something, and then you're like, what the fuck was its name? You remember bits and pieces that were good about a fic.
More importantly, that only happens explicitly when you're about to recommend it to someone.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Or you think, I want to read a good fic from this fandom, and then all of a sudden it's like, wait, there's that... What was it? There's that one, what was it?
What's it called?
My roommate was playing Mass Effect one time. And I go, oh, you should go shoot those...
Yeah.
And he looks at me, he's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm trying to think of the word for those guys. And he's like, what guys? I'm like, I put that...
If I knew, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yeah, he's like, what are they? I was like, well, if I knew... And he's like, okay, well, just describe them to me then. I was like, well, you know, they have the eyes, the 4 of the eyes, and he's like, oh, the
Yeah, not so funny now, is it, fucko?
Just sitting there like, what the fuck are they called?
That's great.
Finally, we're like, all right, we gotta fucking figure this shit out. Google the 4-eyed alien guys, Mass Effect, Batarians.
Yeah. Man, I think the worst memory problems I have when it comes to fiction is like, I want to recommend this good thing to someone and I can't remember it, but I can instantly tell them what bad thing to avoid.
Oh yeah, so yes, of course, yeah.
Like, fuck. Why did the bad thing have the bigger impact?
Unfortunately, Max has been the subject of this quite often. Is whenever we have our late night chats, and I'll just be talking, and then I'll just stop talking because I'll just be like, yeah, I just forgot what I was saying.
That happens sometimes. Still, on the upside, you've never peaked past forgetting how to spell the word "the" or even how to pronounce it.
Yes, that was a very difficult day.
It was a hilarious 10 minutes laughing my ass off at you, though.
It was really hard because I had to describe the word "the" without using the words "th" or "e."
Using the letters THE because you also forgot how to say the.
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
You're like, you know, it's that
it's the
he
word.
Legitimately could not even use the word the.
Yeah.
He kept using everything but the. He didn't even go with TEH. He didn't even go with the misspell. He just forgot the word for like 2 minutes.
It is incredibly hard to describe something without saying the word the. Also, to give me a break though, it was like 3 or 4 a.m.
Oh, no, I know.
Was that midterm week?
No, it wasn't.
No, it wasn't.
That's part of the reason it stuck out, because it's like, if it had been during one of your midterm weeks, it would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah, I remember midterm week of Max coming on and being like, hey, Sneaky, what you doing? Like, writing. He's like, did you go to bed? Nope, got a test in an hour. Ah. Gonna go to bed after that? Nope, got a test in 2 hours.
Sneaky went. I think you ended at like between 64 and 72 hours without sleep for that week.
In that week, I got maybe a maximum of 6 to 8 hours spread out among the 72. Or
yeah, he
68.
I remember specifically you went 72 hours straight with no sleep somehow.
I drank an entire fucking case of Monster.
It's not good for you, man.
No, it was not.
It's not, like, on the one hand, it's not gonna make your body any worse than it already was.
I also crashed for like an entire day afterwards. Like literally like 18 hours something of sleeping.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember that. I remember sending a message being like, "Hey, man, you okay?" Oh, okay, he's not answering. All right, I'll give it a full day because I know that he's fucked up right now.
I remember the same during my exam times over 4 days. Turns out I don't do exams well, and I did not know that until I only got 20 minutes of sleep one time over 4 days, and then crashed for 20 hours sleep.
Yep.
I did not know I did not do exams well in big groups.
Yeah, it's a problem for me because I have insomnia. And I also am a night owl, so I like staying up during the nighttime and sleeping during the day. And all of my tests were also nowhere near their normal testing times. Like, I had classes at, like, 7 p.m., and their test was at, like, 8 a.m.
Alright, turns out I've got to go. See yous.
Alright, later, man. Yeah, so it was just, like, I was completely off schedule. I was, I had insomnia. We were in the midst of writing Scorched Earth, Shattered Steel. And I was having, like, the fucking brain blasts left and right that I had to write shit down for, or I was gonna forget it. And so, yeah, it all came together in where when I did not have moments of pain, I had tests. And the tests were just spaced enough that once I didn't sleep, I couldn't sleep, because if I did sleep, I would sleep through the tests.
Yeah, fuck that.
What the fuck did Greatest send me? Convince King of Heroes to be generous. Yes, it will. I'm bored. Booze isn't in the budget. Yep, that's fair. That's fair. Move you over here. Okay. You're absolutely right, but it's nothing that can't be fixed. After all, she's still young and just needs to be properly groomed. I don't like where this is going. I was thinking we could get to know each other first. How about a game of tag? That sounds fun, right? He says, looking down at me. Oh my god, I'm being recruited. Okay, you know what? That's actually a fair enough response to that.
So Jack Flash asking, do you want to play a game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I am being recruited.
Yeah.
My mind starts going a mile a minute with this thought. Okay, self-preservation first, figure out the rest later. Sure. Fear, you and I are going to be good friends today. I just know it. Well, author, honestly, your writing isn't atrocious. It's just your grammar is some of the fucking worst I've seen in a while. Terrible pacing.
Yeah.
Massive lack of punctuation. Some weird sentences here and there. Great. Here are the rules. You have until sundown. Bonesaw, Siberian, and a few others, and I, like, what the fuck is this? Bonesaw, Siberian, a few others, and I. This is from the eloquent Jack Slash. Are going to chase after you. If you get tagged enough time, you lose. When you are it, you have to tag someone. When they get tagged, you get 10 seconds to run. If you are it at sundown, you lose. So I have like 4 hours to run from some of the most dangerous, deranged individuals ever thought up. Most dangerous and deranged individuals. The Slaughterhouse 9. Not even fucking slightly.
I mean, in Worm they are.
Oh, sure, in Worm they are. Barely. Like, but this guy knows he's not from the Wormverse, first off. So, it's kind of just like, great, fun, oh the joy. Alright, let's begin. I'll start 1, 2, 3. He goes, now, shit, fuck, I need a minute to process this. You need to give me a minute to process this. You know how I can tell that this is a Zoomer?
Needing to process.
Their language and their phrasings, yeah. This sounds like some of the more obnoxious reposted to YouTube TikTok shorts I've seen of like the really weird Zoomers. I start running. Period. At this point, the panic and frustration are driving me to start crying. Okay. I don't know why, but I run towards and past the Siberian. She looks down with a smirk as I pass her. Why do I feel like I am forgetting something? 10. Tag, you're it. Jack says. I scream and fall over on the blood-soaked pavement as a searing pain spreads across my back. Looking back, I see that he has not moved and is now holding a knife in his hands. All right, his powers. I try to get up only to get slammed into the ground by a foot. I see the Siberian, grinning menacingly, down at me. I hear Jack say. You know the rules. Count to 10. Why am I getting flashbacks to Tokyo Ghoul? Okay, so this is what I'm talking about here, right? Like, this dude's really gonna sit here and be like, I remember Tokyo Ghoul completely. The S9 are the most deranged individuals to ever exist. It's like, bro. You really gonna say that statement still with a straight face, knowing Tokyo Ghoul?
I was gonna say, I've never experienced Tokyo Ghoul in any form or fashion. I'm pretty sure it would have the Slaughterhouse 9 beat.
Oh, it does. Mr. Stick a millipede in your ear.
That sounds awful.
Oh, it was.
Oh, I remember that scene. That was the thing.
The panic and frustration of the event is what's causing them to cry, not the impending death or fear for their life. Exactly, Aura. I'm glad you understand. Yeah, they're not giving them enough time to process this, so they're just overflowing with emotions, and they don't know what to do with them.
Surely, Zoomer.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, this is easily diagnosed as Zoomeritis. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3, 4. I continue to count as I hear running. The whole time the Siberian kept me held to the ground. 10. The Siberian takes her foot off me and I get up. Jack and Bonesaw are nowhere in sight. The Siberian looks down at me with a devious expectation. Yes. No. I am not going to essentially give you the murderous JoJo stand a free ticket to hunt me. So they know JoJo. And they're still going to call the Slaughterhouse 9 the most deranged.
Yes, author, I would like to direct you. Pick a part.
Any part.
Just pick a part. Fucking most dangerous or deranged motherfucker. We literally had a villain attempt to rewrite the universe, and in fact was successful in rewriting the universe in one of the parts.
We had a main character protagonist. I don't know if the debate's up whether they're the hero or not. We had one of the protagonists shove a full-on fucking motorcycle into his enemy using his power, and then let it expand inside them back into the motorcycle. And you're gonna be like, those people that just stabbed them and ate them, they're the most deranged individuals to ever exist.
Dangerous and deranged. Don't forget, there were two there.
Yes. More dangerous than Dio. More dangerous than the Tokyo Ghoul. John Ghoul. Anyway. I just look at her. Look behind me, see nothing there. Look at her. I turn around and run. Okay, I can do this. I just gotta last a few hours and tag someone at the end. Easy. Distracted by my thoughts, I trip over something and once again fall face first. Asterisk, crack, asterisk. I think I broke my nose. Looking up, I see huge black-green eldritch abomination of a creature. Okay, so first off, she is a Case 53, according to the summary. No one's gonna comment on that?
Nope.
Maybe they become a Case 53 after the Slaughterhouse 9 interaction. Some bullshit.
Or maybe the Slaughterhouse are so used to Crawler that they don't really care.
I mean,
yeah, that's pretty fair, actually. They've seen enough Case 53s and
right, but the thing is, though,
unless it was notable, they probably wouldn't care.
Yes, but the thing is, though, is that Case 53s, notably, have no memory. Which is why it's very easy to recruit them to be villains. And why the Protectorate makes it a priority to try and recover Case 53s as fast as possible before they can fall in with a crowd that tells them what they're doing is a good thing.
This may be one of the pretty Case 53s like Canary, where it's something really, really small that's actually different.
Yes, but the thing is, though, is... Wait, Canary was a Case 53?
Yeah. And I forgot my shit, Case 53. Her hair was feathers.
I know her hair was feathers.
For Case 53, though. Case 53s had a few other...
Case 53s were explicitly people that had been kidnapped by Cauldron, given a power vial, and then turned into a distinctly inhuman entity that occasionally can look human from a certain point of view. So, like Weld, for example, being a all-metal human.
Yeah, Mary's not on that list.
Yeah.
So.
And the second part of Case 53, besides looking extremely like a Case 53, is that they don't have any memory. Jack Slash would know this. They wouldn't be like, ho ho ho, I'm going to taunt her and torture her as if she is, a hero or a child who triggered. He would do like a Bonesaw style treatment, like post Bonesaw style treatment of her, of like, hey little girl, you should come with us. We'll protect you from the bad people or some shit like that. Like,
yeah, that would absolutely be Jack Slash. Honestly, wouldn't his power also give him a slight edge? Like, oh shit, that is absolutely a Case 53.
Oh, no, his power is communication, and so he always knows what to say and what to. You want to find your memories? Well, stick with us, kid, and we'll help you.
Yeah, like he almost instantly recognized her after like a couple of sentences in conversation, probably.
Easily. So yeah, this is what I'm saying. Is like, if you just want to have your character get turned into some sort of non-human creature, I don't care. But unless they're also going to be absent of memory, don't call them a Case 53. But then you clearly showed that your character didn't have their memory by literally telling the audience, I don't have my memory. But then you went on to be like, I know all about Worm. I know all about Tokyo Ghoul. I know all about the JoJo.
That might make for an interesting Case 53 as like a one-shot or
all
maybe
they know is anime?
No, not that. Like, they're a pretty Case 53. Like, they're a rarity in that they still look perfectly human.
Right.
But the memories they have are memories that their powers, they just absorb latent memories from people within like some odd mile radius.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean. So like
absorbing enemy memories.
Like their power is like some sort of overtuned version of Victor's.
Yeah.
And like,
so any memories that they lost are just immediately replaced by those around them, and they just don't really pick up on it for a while.
I mean, I think it would be kind of hard but interesting to try and write about a social chameleon who literally whose powers and personality, well, I wouldn't say powers, I would say more personality is based on the people around them, literally.
Yeah, like I said, I think it'd make for an interesting one-shot, two-shot at the most.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be a huge pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely, it'd be a massive pain in the ass. I do actually remember a Worm story where they tried to write that. It was a Taylor story where she got a Trump power that lets her copy other people's powers. But to do this, she has to touch them. And once she touches them, her shard asks their shard for a snapshot of that person's memory and power set at the time that she touched them. And then this is then piped into her memory, and through their memory, she can then activate their power set.
Oh yeah, there's no way this could possibly go wrong.
That sounds really rough to try and write.
It actually got really far, right? But
did they make it past Leviathan?
I don't think so, no.
It's always Leviathan. It's always the fucked killer.
I mean, like, to be fair, they got to, like, chapter 53 with 5K word chapters.
Okay, no, that's respectable. That's 2.5 novels. Give or take,
you have to keep in mind, though, because you have to keep in mind, when Taylor originally got her powers, that was in January, and, like, the whole story actually kicks off with the lung fight in, like, April. And so a Taylor who doesn't have any powers, who then the week later she comes back from the hospital and goes to school and then gets bullied by Sophia again, and Sophia touches her because Sophia is a physical bully. and then she gets a snapshot of Shadowstalker's powers, personality, and memories. And when I say snapshot, I mean literally a IT snapshot. Like it's the full run. It's just,
Right.
Sophia's memories and personality as of 0200 this exact second. Yeah.
That would lead to Taylor beating the fuck out of Sophia.
It did.
Nice.
It also led to her being incredibly aggressive, and she ended up bull rushing several other villains because she wanted to go out into the streets and do something about it, because basically she was such a fucking wallflower with her willpower and personality that at that moment she basically just let the Sophia personality run her. And so she went out, got a whole bunch of villain personalities now bouncing around in her head.
Oh no.
So she just kind of kept getting worse and worse. And then she realized that eventually, because she was torturing someone or something at some point, and she's like, "Wait, why am I torturing them? Why? I'm not even asking them questions. I'm just having fun torturing them." And then it's like, "Oh shit, I gotta touch heroes so I can get snapshots of their not shit personalities to balance out all of these personalities." And she became super fucking schizophrenic.
Spoiler warning, they're also shitty.
Yeah, so it was an interesting study of a fanfic, but I mean, there's a reason why I never picked it up again long before it died. It got to chapter 80 or 90 before it died. I stopped reading it 54. Because one day I got to the latest updated chapter and I read the chapter and I was like, I think the author's kind of just getting lost in the sauce. Because it's one of those things where it's a cool idea of the main character, having to juggle all of this. And, Monster, the story that got recommended on your server sign, is a lot like this in a way, just not as extreme in terms of the schizophrenia. But it's it's a cool idea, but it's extremely difficult to really show that her personality is going all over the place because of these power updates. Because you basically can't set a baseline personality for her that the audience can then use to judge that she is deviating from.
Well, you were supposed to use canon as your baseline.
Alexandria is sort of a case 53? No, not really.
How is Alexandria a case 53?
She's a Cauldron Vial cape, but no. That's not what a case 53.
Well, okay, so Canary is both a Cauldron Vial cape and has the physical mutations. The only thing she's missing is the amnesia. And the only reason they have amnesia is because when they pulled them in and they gave them, the Cauldron Vials, they then had, what's his name, the memory editor wipe their memories.
Yes.
That's the only reason they're like that. So,
yes.
I mean, Canary should actually qualify as a case 53. Yes, Slug.
No, case 53 are explicitly the people with the Cauldron tattoo on them.
Canary has one, doesn't she?
No. People who have their full memories are not branded.
No.
The people who have their memories erased were branded as an attempt from Cauldron to release potentially powerful capes onto the scene while also simultaneously creating a fake conspiracy about where they were coming from.
Oh, okay. That's fucking dumb.
Yes. Cauldron capes have slight mutations you can hide. Yeah, and that's the thing, is that because they're using dead shards and a lot of the safety protocols are not active, that's why the mutations occur.
Well, it's not because of the safety shit. It's because there is a mixture, of which part of that mixture needs to be human specifically. There's one of the capes who's in Noel's group who I think only got human, and I think his power is that he's pretty or some shit. I forget his name.
Oh. Ugh. Yeah. Sorry, someone decided to fucking clean up all the dust at my work site today, and then they just started banging the fucking broom into the trash can. Like, open air banging. And the dust just went fucking everywhere where I was working. And my lungs have been giving me shit this entire fucking time since then. It's just like right where I'm working, they're just like banging the dust out of the broom. And it's like, bro, really?
Fun.
I'm it. It says with a guttural voice. It looks like 1, 2. I couldn't jump to my feet faster as I ran as fast as I could. Yeah. And jumped down another alley. 10! Ready or not, here I come. The author proceeds to misspell every word in that sentence. I'm just kidding, but they did misspell here. I can still hear him clearly as I hide in a plastic trash can, throwing bags of refuse on top of myself and covering my mouth to keep myself quiet. Like, holy shit. You clearly are a Zoomer who has never had to be in a city or trash cans. A city trash can is possibly the most septic, rotting thing in existence. You would probably get less diseases hiding inside of a emptied chest cavity of a person.
I would rather let Crawler eat me than crawl into a city trash can.
Like, you can really tell the, I don't want to say privilege level, but it kind of is. You can really tell the privilege level of these fucking Zoomers sometimes.
Self-reporting.
Yeah. After what must have been hours, there was probably only half of one. So you stayed in a trash can, a city trash can with seeping trash bags on top of you for 30 minutes? You would be puking. Unless your power is not to puke, you would be puking.
Yeah.
I feel the trash can get violently thrown through the air and slam against something hard. Somehow surviving the crash only for something to grab me and yank me out of my smelly safe space. If I didn't think they were a Zoomer before,
Safe space.
Goddamn. Also, thinking that Crawler throwing a trash can into a brick wall and the trash can will come away undamaged.
Old plastic trash can, it probably just bounced.
You know what? That trash can was probably made of titanium.
I will fucking end you.
Somehow, opening my eyes, I see a featureless gray faceplate staring at me. It grabs my right arm roughly, with long, pointed fingers, starts carving. Ow! Stop! Please, please, stop! I scream out. Full on crying at this point, as it gauges me deep into my arm.
Gauges or gouges?
They wrote gauges, didn't they?
We'll see. Yep, your gauge. Yep, yeah. They wrote gauge. Yep.
Of course.
Offers a moral.
I miss my nerve damage. It stops and drops me down after what felt like minutes of agony. I fall to my side crying, while holding my bloody, mutilated forearm. It grabs my head in one gray, slim, ceramic hand and jerks me to look up. Crouching above and down at me, it grabs my bloody arm and twists it painfully to face the carvings at me. Tag. That's what that was for? Why not just carve it onto the bricks? I force out through the sobs. I recognized Mannequin at this point. I knew the... Not spelling out the 9 were sadistic and deranged. You said they were the most sadistic and deranged. But there is a difference between knowing and knowing. I would say that's a very poor statement. I would say there's a difference between knowing and being the victim. I mean, you could use knowing. I mean, maybe if you italicize the second knowing, it's like, you know, there's knowing they're sadistic, and then there's knowing they're sadistic. It's like if you phrase it.
Differentiate the second one?
No. If you phrase it like that, then yeah, I can sort of see that. But it's like, oh yeah, oh wow, I see like a literal mountain of corpses, and oh yeah, they're the most deranged, most dangerous people to ever exist ever, period. And then some dude grabs your arm and carves the word tag into them, and you're like, this is just a step too far. I know they brutally murdered and tortured this town to death, but this man just carved the word tag into my arm. It's kind of just like, it's coming off as a little bit of a not in my backyard. Why? Why is this happening? What do you want? I'm about ready to give up. Literally, all someone did so far was stab you twice. And gauge the word tag into your arm, which admittedly probably hurt like a bitch. But they're not breaking bones. And let me tell you, if you think being stabbed hurts, wait until you break a bone.
Oh, God.
It's a thing.
Oh, I know.
I, fortunately, have a very tough skeleton and have not had a bone fracture or break yet.
We can fix that.
I prefer to keep it that way.
You should. I mean, you should experience it at least once in your life.
No, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good.
Bone stuff hurts.
It really fucking hurts. I've gotten close with twisted limbs and taking impacts and falling on shit, and I definitely have felt the closeness. There has definitely been times in my life during fights where I was either getting my arm twisted or I was blocking a blow with my arm, and I just had this like instant instinctual thought of, if this goes any farther, that bone is definitely going to break. But I've never broken a bone. I have taken some very heavy hits, though, and the cartilage on my bones are... the cartilage ain't doing too hot, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah.
So anyway, there is no help in sight. My dominant hand is mutilated and useless. My back is carved to bits after the Jack and the Siberian. But the Siberian didn't injure you at all, she just stepped on you. My nose is broken. Oh, come off it. Like, fucking come off it. It's just your fucking nose.
That's just slightly painful. It's not debilitating.
It's not debilitating, but shit's still irritating.
And it hurts like a bitch for like the first second. And yeah, the blood gets everywhere. But it's just fucking cartilage. Also, yeah, Jack only swiped once. So carved to bits.
Did he swipe right or swipe left?
I believe he swiped left. I don't even know why I'm here or why I'm a little girl. As I think this mannequin lets go of my head and starts carving into my arm again. Yeah, that's what happens when you mouth off to the insane serial killer who you just called the most deranged and sadistic and murderous person to ever exist. And you mouth off to them when you are in a position of non-negotiable weakness. You dumb.
Yeah, you deserve what you're getting.
Oh God, why please, why? I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't fun. Okay.
Your complaint is, I don't want to do this anymore?
Because it isn't fun. Yep. It's not fun anymore.
I hate this world.
Yep. My vision goes white with the pain. Wow. All right. So, are you guys familiar with, it doesn't matter what mythology you're sourcing it from, whether it's an anime, D&D, or just actual mythology, whatever, right? Are you guys familiar with creatures that they're not super dangerous, but they have like a special ability to cause all of your injuries to reopen. And this includes all scarred injuries, injuries from years ago.
No, what the fuck are you talking about?
Max? Gray? Either of you?
I've heard of stuff like this before, but I don't remember where.
Full Metal Alchemist, maybe?
I mean,
No,
I'm familiar with the like every injury you've ever had suddenly reopen.
Yes.
I don't know why, but I want to say that was a JoJo stand at one point.
It was also in Full Metal Alchemist.
Well, I'm not familiar with FMA.
Oh, okay.
I should be though, because it's one of the good ones.
Brotherhood was the good one, but yes.
Well, which is just the manga.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen it in a couple things. I don't know its origins.
Yeah. So I always have this ongoing joke with myself about how I would be absolutely fucked if I ever came across one of these creatures, because I don't have any like major like, oh man, my fucking heart got pierced when I was younger injuries. I mean, I did have a shit ton of surgeries done to my eyes, so that would be pretty fucking bad. But more than that, I have a lot of cuts on my arms and legs. A lot on my arms, though. A lot on my arms. Just from general injuries, was there thorns, or I'm outside and I get cut by a rock, or someone's got a knife. Like, my arms are actually so scarred, is you can actually tell where the scar tissue on my arms begins and where it ends, because my scar tissue also tans extremely fast comparatively. And so you can see like the hundreds of pocks and scars on my arm, on my top part of my arms. And I was just like, I would be fucked. I would be fucked. But I only bring this up specifically to distract myself from just how boring this author made a S9 scene be.
Mm-hmm.
So, Mannequin... go ahead.
This is dull.
Yeah, it's very dull. Mannequin rips out her arm with a pop, and then shows her the arm, and she's sniffling, and she's, tears are just pouring out of her eyes, and her nose is running because her whole arm just got dislocated, and it's the most terriblest injury she's ever suffered. And however, on her arm, he has carved into it the word count. 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah. She's counting and crying. He runs away. Instead of finishing my counting, I decide I'm going to fall back on the ground and start crying. I think I peed myself. I hit rock bottom and I wanted to die. But then suddenly I felt it. I felt the desire to not let them win.
Okay.
You're sure.
Yep, this is where your courage pops in. And that's when I triggered.
Cringe.
Yeah, I have to agree with Gray on this one. What the fuck is this? A delayed trigger? but you already forgot. You already had your memory erased. And then you triggered?
That is one of the things in the CYOA that you actually have to trigger.
Right, but I don't think that can be taken with Case 53.
I can, but if she looks normal right now, that would imply that she's Case 53 once she fucking does it, which is fucking dumb.
Which, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
It can be done.
That's really fucking dumb.
It doesn't say it can't be done, I think. Depending on the version.
Yeah, depending on the version, probably. I mean, I think it's possible that the author of the CYOA just didn't think anyone would be that fucking stupid to not understand how a Case 53 trigger works. Because how do you trigger as a Case 53? You don't.
You do. It's just that they give you the vial, and that's your trigger event. You drink the vial.
Yeah, that's my point, though. Is a delayed trigger would be something like, for Case 53, would be something like, oh, ho, I am in Worm. Oh, I wonder what my power is. Oh, what's that? I don't have a power. That's really weird. Oh, I just tripped over this suitcase of $600,000 and a phone with a 1 number listed in it. I guess I'll call that number. What's this? This is Cauldron. I would like to buy a superpower. Hello, Cauldron. Here is the money. I'll drink this vial. I feel weird.
Oh, God, that's fucking dumb.
Like, that's how you would do a delayed trigger for Case 53. And then you start the next chapter with not remembering that you've been isekai'd?
Yeah.
like that's literally the only way to do it. Unless you also choose a delayed trigger Case 53, but you take the CYOA points to have your character not be an out-of-world problem, but instead have a backstory in the world of Worm. And that would be the only way that it wouldn't look as dumb, but then you would have the backstory of someone who is super rich, who wanted to go buy a power, and who knew how to contact Cauldron. But if you're the one doing the CYOA, you would have known it was a Case 53 vial you're getting.
It's convoluted and it's not really good.
Yeah, I'm like, there's like a lot of...
There's too many hoops to jump through to make it even plausible.
Yeah, it's just, if you're gonna do a Case 53 character, just start them off with fucking powers.
There's only one way I can see a delayed working well, which is simply, hey, you've taken the vial. Well, the vial takes a while for the trigger to actually take effect. Hey, it's just delayed in actually showing the issues. That's it. So
yeah,
instead of,
but then it wouldn't be a Case 53. You would just be a vial trigger.
mm-hmm.
Because Case 53s were explicitly the people of failed vials, who Cauldron was like, oh shit, we can't let people know that A, you can buy superpowers out of a bottle, and B, that they can fail, because obviously if you were like some super rich brat and you wanted superpowers, so you call Cauldron for a power in a can, and you drink the monster in the can, and you turn into some fucking like distorted image of what's the screaming guy from that painting? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I have no idea what the name of that thing is.
Screaming Man?
Yes.
Like, yeah, you turn into some distorted...
Dali's painting.
Yeah. You turn into some distorted, clearly inhuman creature, and you were previously this rich, probably good-looking, well-to-do person. Well, you're probably gonna be like, oh, fuck these guys, I'm gonna tell everyone that this shit is cracked. So obviously they're like, well, we can't let you do that. So, skadoosh. You're, skedaddle, skadoodle, your memories are gone. Fuck you. But no, see, that's the problem, though, Aura, is that shards transforming the person is completely normal. It's the problem with K53s is that the shard is broken because it's fucking dead, and so it doesn't have the normal protocols fully operating, and they're trying to tweak it around to make it operate correctly. And I have no fucking idea how they're doing that. And in the process of this, sometimes you get horrible mutations where, normally maybe someone would have turned into some sort of weird gecko lizard to spit paralytic poison at someone as a changer form. But instead of that, now they are the paralytic lizard. What about all those?
I feel sorry for Neuter.
Huh?
I said, kind of feel sorry for Neuter.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. What about the poor village people from another Earth? What about them?
You mean all the ones that were kidnapped? Just like Green Girl. Fairy Queen.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, sure. But the reason why you would want to erase their memories and then release them out into the wild of Earthbet with a tattoo stamped onto them is because you want to build the conspiracy. And so to build the conspiracy and test out how to get the powers right at the same time, because, you can only make so many rich people disappear before people start getting concerned. And, yeah. So, you take...
I'd like to make them all disappear.
Yeah, well... And so, kidnapping a bunch of poor people to experiment on is completely, understandable. And if you want to build this whole conspiracy about Case-53s, then they make a great fodder for doing this. So that's why you would preemptively want to do it.
We're going to need CH to clip that when he gets back.
Which part?
The part where you approve of kidnapping poor villagers to experiment on.
I mean, what else are they going to do with their lives?
Fair.
So anyway, blah, 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 trigger event, Eldritch Comet Horror, blah, 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 HP Lovecraft. Eldritch Cosmic Horror Wet Dream, the likes that would have HP Lovecraft foaming from the mouth? No. Not even. The space whales of Worm are like low, 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 low tier. Like a Shoggoth, I actually would be more scared of than a space whale from Worm.
I think he's saying the space whale turned him into a Shoggoth.
No, he's watching the trigger event thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. My trigger was to be pushed to the point of fighting back, to stop taking punishment and give as good as I got. That's not what a trigger is.
It's not how that goes.
It's not how that works. My power renders me immortal. I can be hurt, but I can't be harmed. My body will always be healthy, no matter what, and will always match my desires and will. So you're not going to be a Case-53 in the slightest. I can absorb energy, store it, and redirect it, and also use it to empower myself. And I can also create illusions that are tactile, auditory, and visual.
Oh wow, you got 3 S-class powers right there.
And I can talk to my shard.
Oh.
And
Even.
and the shard is
And?
actively going to help me use my powers.
Fuck off. Author.
Now, to be fair, I will agree with this one. This one's kind of funny and is totally justifiable under the worm rules. Wait, aren't I supposed to be unconscious for this? Aren't I supposed to, like, not know you're here? The shard says back, yeah, but data.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
And it's like, alright, so one shard being like, what would happen if they remembered it completely and totally?
What would happen?
Let's see!
Let's find out.
Yeah, so I can believe that much at least.
Yeah, but data.
Ever just know the answer to something but you forgot who you know? It's like I just got information downloaded into my brain. You already talked about this earlier, author. You talked about how you forgot your whole life but now have Wikipedia, which, I mean, that's a terrible trade. The shard says something you can't hear because your brain is too busy melting from trying to process that much information. Fair. Maybe it sends this a really small packet. So the reason I'm not unconscious and I'm not panicking is because you're... Alright, so Sign, you know how you get really triggered when it comes to titanium and people talking about metallurgy when they have no idea what they're talking about?
Yes.
Mine is biology.
Fair.
So I'm going to read something that's going to make me angry.
Go ahead.
The reason why I am not unconscious and no longer panicking is because you are partitioning the stress out of my brain.
Excuse you?
That is not how stress works.
Oh, okay, no. Sneaky, you gotta remember, shard fuckery, they directly interact with brains. It could, in fact, just tell his brain, okay, no stress, don't release stress hormones. Brain and body.
That is correct. That is not what they said.
That is not what they said, no, but it's technically possible.
No, and I agree. That's why I hate it. It's because it is it's like if you had a door and a window next to each other, and someone walks up to the door, and on the door it says pull, and they push, and they go, oh my god, I can't believe the door is locked. So they break open the window and enter through there.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what the fuck are you doing? By the way, that is based on a real event. I saw someone believe a pull-based door was locked because they pushed on it, so they broke the window next to the door to quote-unquote unlock the door.
Yeah, but have you ever seen anybody walk through a sliding glass door?
Yes.
Walk through a sliding glass door?
Yes. I've walked into one before myself, and it rattled so harshly it echoed through the lobby. Like it sounded like a fucking gong just went off.
Now, to be fair, when I was a child, I walked through a screen door, but that's different.
That's a little bit different, yeah. I walked into a pole one time as a child. I was playing Pokemon on my Game Boy.
But that doesn't fucking count. You were distracted.
That's what I said! and I walked into this pole, and then I, recoiled back, took a step to the left, and then kept walking and playing.
Yep.
And my parents were like, "Oh, you just ran into that pole." I was like, "Yeah, well, yeah." I was like fucking 6. I was playing Pokemons on my Game Boy. Not even Game Boy Color. My Game Boy.
There are children alive today who grew up on Pokemon Go as their first Pokemon.
Even worse, there are children alive today whose first Pokemon game was Sun and Moon.
I imagine there are some whose first Pokemon was Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah.
But to be fair, my first Pokemon was Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, but that's a little bit different.
Yes, because I avoided it. And rightfully so, because apparently there's literally no fucking difference between versions except what Pokemon you get.
So the reason I am, honestly, they've really missed it. I sort of miss them doing the, release 2 versions. I've always thought the 2 version thing was stupid, but hey, that's a fucking amazing marketing gimmick, let me tell you. So release 2 versions thing, and then they release the 3rd game, which is like the fusion of the 2 versions, and it's like, it has all of the patches. It has, everything that was wrong with the original releases is fixed. It's got more story. It's got more everything. And it's like absolutely worth repaying for the game.
They stopped doing that?
They stopped doing that like fucking generations ago. And I mean, if you're really gonna sit there and you're gonna make your game called Sword and Shield, and you don't release the 3rd part called Gun, you just massively missed out. Anyway, so why, blah, 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 panicking, partitioning, stress? Because you need me to escape Jack Slash in his shard and can't risk it on the off chance he wakes up before me. Yes. Why? Aren't you guys all working together or something? Why would you hide from the others? More data! Oh, my shard is not from the warrior or the thinker. It also just so happens to have the answer to entropy, the one thing all shards would literally kill to obtain. On the bright side, yeah, right. On the bright side, due to my power being immortality, I can never die as my shard will never run out of power. On the downside, I have a massive target on my back due to my shard status as a deviant and foreigner.
So you got negentropy, but you didn't actually put it with a power that it made sense to put it with, you motherfucker.
Yes. And now this is the other thing, is, right, I can think of a few sci-fi ways to generate more energy than is being lost in the total net worth of energy generation.
Black hole.
Like I said, a few sci-fi things. One of them's like the quantum fudging, where, it's like you take 1 unit of energy, but then you actually have 1.1 units of energy, and then you take 1 unit of energy, and you have 1.1 units of energy.
No. That's you can't just money printer go burn with energy, goddammit.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's what I'm saying. Sci-fi. I'm not saying these are real theories. I'm saying these are legitimate sci-fi explanations that you could come up with that I would be like, all right. And the reason why I say that one, money printer go burr, basically, is because the quantum fudging, as I call it, is balanced in a way, because it's like you're not getting a lot of energy out of it. because you're literally defying entropy. So it would be kind of broke as fuck if you got, you took one energy to do whatever it requires you to break entropy, and you got 500 units of energy out of it. That's just fucking ridiculous. I like quantum fudging specifically because it's actually balanced, and, you're still capable of including things in there that could... I mean, you could even make that it's not, what's it called, RTG? Radioactive thermal generators?
Yeah.
It's basically a small type of power source where you just sort of passively use the decay of radioactive elements that wouldn't be good inside of a reactor, but you use their decay, and it gives off a little bit of energy for a very long period of time, is the idea behind it. It's like sort of like that, where it's, yes, technically speaking, you have basically no cost on the input, and you're getting a net worth output of a lot over time. But if you just say turn on a gas generator, you're going to be generating way more energy than the RTG would.
Right.
Same thing for quantum fudging.
Low.
It's going to be giving you constant energy at a low amount forever, but there's just
But it's slow.
right. It's slow. So it becomes less of a scenario breaker. And then you don't have people being like, well, why don't they just use it for everything? It's like, well, they can't, because it only produces 0.1 energy a second. So you need like 700 of them to equal a normal gas generator.
Why don't you just build 700 of them?
Well, then you can, hand wave the sci-fi cost of it, That's why you're able to leave it up to the author at that point. Once you actually have a balanced idea, you can then fiddle with it however you want. But I find too many authors these days who are like, oh, this idea is really cool, and they introduce it into their story, and it just fucking breaks the entire setting.
That's like a forethought.
Well, yeah.
Unless they're doing it intentionally for the lulls, in which case, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Like the point of the story is breaking it?
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Makes sense.
The entire point is to not just flip the table, but make the table do several thousand RPM.
Yes. I need to be careful. Jack needs to be avoided at all costs due to his shard being able to forcibly connect to other shards and manipulate them. No, it can't do that in the fucking slightest. His shard is literally called communication. It is a radio antenna.
Broadcast.
Yeah, that. Broadcast. It is literally a fucking radio antenna. It can't
His
force...
shard can... Go ahead.
No, I'm saying it can't force other shards to do anything. It's literally just going up to him and being like, hey, buddy, I want my guy to get some more data on this thing. Can you, give me a quick recap of what your host acts like? And the shard's like, oh, yeah, totally. Here's my data shard about them. Oh, cool, thanks. Yeah, we're going to do this to this and this to them, and we'll both get some great data out of it. Oh, cool, great, thanks. That's
not just that, but, oh, hey, what's your shard's power do? Oh, okay, yeah, I'll plan around that, and this is what I'm going to do.
Right, and but it's like, it's not some sort of fucking shard war going on where his shard has to beat up the other shard because their shard wants their host to live or some shit. Ain't fucking happening.
No. No, the real bully is Queen Administrator.
Yes, the Queen Administrator is actually the one that hijacks other shards.
Literally, yes.
Here are your marching orders, now fucking do them. I need a one shot of Jack Slash being a Rush Limbaugh style podcast host.
Oh god.
The Slaughterhouse 9 replaces the Blaze. Fucking Joe Rogan's replaced by Crawler. Tell me more about this acid, scientist. You say it can burn off an entire human limb?
Introduce him to fluoride.
The name of the show is The Slaughterhouse. It's called, no, it's being hosted at The Slaughterhouse, which is also a comedy club featuring Burn Scar. Burn Scar and fucking what's her face? The glass girl. She uses glass wings. She screams and glass explodes.
Yeah,
Shatterbird.
Screamer.
Shatterbird, yeah. Yeah.
Screamy bitch.
It's got a lineup of female-only comedians.
Oh, so it's run by that woman from the birdcage.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the feminist, yeah. See you, Gray. Recommendation, run, and then you can speculate about shit. Okay, yeah, that's a good plan. I should move now. My arms are now healed. I'm hurting from them, but I'm not impaired by the pain anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Curse, huff. Curse, asterisk, huff, asterisk. Jesus Christ.
Okay, I get what they're doing. They're trying to do sound effects. They wrote this in something where they actually use asterisks and other shit for things. Like, I've got Writer P on my phone that takes input just like this. And when I was doing writing on my phone, I had to go through and clean shit up. Otherwise, I'd have my writing littered with asterisks, slashes, etc. Because you couldn't actually do italics or bold without those things. And then LibreOffice or OpenOffice just doesn't automatically convert it when you copy and paste it.
Yeah, I don't think they actually use italics or bolding anywhere.
Yeah, that would be why. Because they're putting it in there that way, probably, possibly.
No, because they have a legend up here at the start of the chapter. Sounds and actions will be marked off by asterisks.
God damn it, author, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. Oh, fuck it. Author's a moron.
Yeah. I've been running down electron, blah, blah, blah. Oh boy, so news headline, Leviathan. I know what time and where I am. Oh my gosh, you're so cute now. Please no. Bonesaw, happy as ever. You need to be my little sister now. Tag me, blah, blah, rules. If this says who, says me. Wow, they're arguing like children. Ho ho, hee hee, ha ha. Well, count when we get back. I'll tell you, Jack, you're a cheating cheater. I'll go with you if you count. Then you can tag me when we get back. I'll even wait in the TV store for you to finish. Unless you want to tell Jack you broke the rules. So this person is just straight up fucking gaslighting a child now.
Well,
And it's literally... Yes, but they're leaning on the torturer's grooming to make the child do what they want.
Well, it is Bonesaw.
Yeah, man,
And
it's
if
still
they don't,
kind of
they'll
fucked
die.
up. They're literally fucking immortal now.
Okay, Sneaky, you're immortal.
Yep.
All right. Okay, Sneaky, okay, you're immortal. Guess what? That means I can cut on you all day long. You can feel it. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna heal up. But oh my god, is it gonna hurt while I do it?
However, counterpoint. To cut someone, you need to impart kinetic energy to them. They cannot have kinetic energy imparted to them because they absorb it.
Author didn't fucking include that because Author's a moron. I guarantee it. Otherwise, they wouldn't even bother running away. They would just, I don't know, absorb 0.0001% of the Earth's rotational kinetic energy and go, look, I fly now. Bye-bye.
You know what? I didn't even think of that.
Not just I fly now, but splat. Everybody dies. Everybody in a mile radius of me fucking dies. Go splat. Bye-bye.
Yeah, but literally, no, like, so let's see, where is it right here? My body will always be healthy no matter what. I shape it to my desire and will. I also absorb energy, can store it, redirect it, and use it to empower myself.
Exactly. Like I said, you are touching the Earth.
Yep.
The Earth rotates at how fucking fast? Absorbs 0.00001% of its rotational kinetic energy, and then everybody around me goes splat.
Yeah.
I fly away. Bye-bye. Job done.
I'm sorry, my brain just immediately jumped to, I'm going to now absorb all of the kinetic energy the Earth is currently imparting on you. And they just go fucking flying off the planet.
Oh no. Rock it away.
They literally absorb the gravity holding the person to the planet.
Oh no. Or, if you're in range, even if it's touch-based, okay, I walk up to you and I touch you. I absorb all of your thermal energy.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say that too. Die. Yeah, just fucking, tag you're fucking 0 degree Kelvin their ass.
I absorb all of your bioelectric energy. You die. I absorb all your chemical energy.
I mean, you could fucking, you could absolutely, hands down, troll the shit out of them with this, and the author's like, no, even though they're immortal, and they can't be harmed, and they can absorb energy, and cast illusions that people 100% will believe, because there's literally no way for them to tell that it's not real. They still have to run away!
Oh, but they're worried about Jack Shard hacking them. Oh wait, how's it gonna do that? With energy? Ah, yes, the energy. Right. The energy that I can absorb. the energy that I can then use against you. That energy? Anon's energy, yes.
Assumedly, that same energy that shard's been absorbing the whole time to assumedly keep it concealed from the rest of the shards.
Oh yes, that energy.
That energy. Yeah.
The energy that's likely powering you and giving you the negentropy bonus. That energy.
That energy.
Yes. Nope, can't do that.
Nope. Also,
this is why I hate motherfuckers without imagination.
Yeah. Also, if your method of generating energy requires you to absorb energy to create more energy than you absorbed, then to stop, that's not the solution to entropy, because that would just delete everything anyway, because to prevent entropy from occurring, you would have to constantly absorb all of the energy to produce more energy. So you would just be taking all of the energy away from literally everything anyway.
Well, that's only if you need to constantly absorb it. It could be one of those things where I absorbed a little, it kick-started whatever process I'm using.
So quantum
now
fudging.
I'm producing more.
Right.
Yeah,
So
basically.
quantum fudging. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But that's why I'm saying explicitly, if your method of energy generation is you have to take in energy to make energy,
then you take in the energy that you are in now producing. So you've taken in a little energy to get started. You started your motor. Now your motor is charging your motor as your motor charges your motor. It's fucking dumb. But yeah. It doesn't work in practice or in theory because you can't do that, but
yeah, I guess you could circulate it back. Yeah. Oh, dude, my favorite fucking part. Dude, have you seen those fucking videos?
No.
Why electric cars don't have alternators?
Oh my god! That was exactly where I was about to go. I got into this argument with my brother. He's like, "Oh yeah, it uses braking to recharge the battery, and it just fully recharges it so they can keep going forever." I'm like, "No, you motherfucker! That's not how it works. You dumb motherfucker! No, it is a closed system. You cannot do it. It loses energy through heat, energy transfer." The conversion of physical to electrical energy, and he just couldn't fucking get it.
Yeah, and I also know some people were like, well, why don't we just put fucking coil magnets on the car tires and in the car wheelhouse?
And the car charges itself as it goes.
Yeah.
You have to understand, this is an otherwise intelligent person who I would consider my equal on this, in the scale of intelligence, and yet it completely eluded him on this.
Yeah, it's just, yes, there's some things out there that people are just like, they refuse to hear the truth.
Oh, it's like, you explain the truth to them, they're like, no, man, that's not how that works. You look it up and you show them, no, that's not how that works. Fucking dumbasses.
So anyway, she convinces Bonesaw by manipulating the traumatized child into following Jack's rules.
It's Bonesaw. I'll say it again.
I waste no time rushing into the store, running to the back. CRT TVs generate 3 times as much electricity as an LCD TV. You can't just have all... Yes, generates. It generates. Yes, CRT TVs are actually secret electricity generators. You can't just have all those TVs hooked up to an extension cord for safety reasons. So stores with that doesn't stop people. So stores with active electronic displays have a special area where all the wires go to connect. Yeah, it's called a fuse box. It's not new or original. Or
you dumb motherfucker. Congratulations, this is causing me physical pain.
They can be lazy like these guys and just use actual extension cords hidden underneath the TVs and held together with zip ties. That's a
You mean what they actually do?
Yeah. I don't have time to look for the fuse box. This person genuinely thinks only electronic stores have fuse boxes.
No, did they say that? It's just, I guess they thought the electronic store was a convenient location for it.
No, because they go on to explain earlier in the paragraph how electronic display stores have a special area where the wires go to connect together. And then they go on to call it a fuse box.
No, No.
This person straight shit thinks only electronic stores have fuse boxes.
This fucking Zoomer.
Oh my god.
This. I hate it.
Shit, I am running out of time. I run to the back room and find a little break. Hold on, couldn't you just fucking drain the TVs? Just grab the...
Yes.
Just grab the giant bundle of extension cords. Are they not aware that all of those electronic wires still give off the electricity in an aura, and all you have to do is...
It's shielded. Obviously, they can't do that. I mean, it's not like they can just pop the cord in their mouth and recharge that way.
I mean, literally, like, they can absorb all of the heat out of the rubber, and then it instantly freezes and falls off, and now the wires are uninsulated, and now they can absorb even more electricity.
That would require creativity.
My bad, of course. But again, it's like, what the fuck you do? You have the sun beating down on you, motherfucker! Do you know what a sun is?
Oh god, no, they don't.
Oh, I have to go find a TV. Why? I can absorb energy, and I need to go get it from a TV. Why do you need it from a TV? Is it like electricity only? No, I can absorb any kind of energy. So why a TV? Well, only TVs generate energy.
Link me this.
I thought this was going to be a simple run through it, make fun of it, and move on. And yeah, here we still are. It's just, like, it just keeps getting worse. I'm putting this into your fucking...
Oh, you dick.
Required reading.
You dick.
TVs generate 3 times more energy than LCDs.
Check the reviews. Even just for chapter 1.
I will. So I run into the back room and I find a break room, kitchenette, foldable chairs, open drawers, plastic of all things. What are you doing in there? I'm making a sandwich. Do you want to see something cool? I take the toaster and I put it in the microwave. And then I turn the microwave on and watch as blue plasm arcs across the toaster. I'm gonna ping fucking infant with this. You should run away now if you don't want to explode. Bonesaw screams and runs out of the store. Okay. Well, you should never put metal in a microwave. It's actually more like aluminum specifically, but yeah. It's actually...
metal.
Well, yes, but aluminum will catch fire.
Aluminum will catch fire, but any metal inside of it causes it to arc, which will itself damage the word microwave emitter.
Yes.
Thing.
Yeah. It's actually a myth that it'll blow up the microwave.
No.
Oh, I'm so glad they figured that one out. They probably got it off of TikTok, though. My plan is different. I pull the toaster, out of the microwave. Hot. I drop it. I feel some of the thermal energy get absorbed into me. That's not how that works. Well, I can't be damaged by the heat. It still hurts. God, I hate Zoomers. Oh God, I hate Zoomers so fucking much. This person genuinely believes damage is a separate stat from everything else, completely unconnected. You fucking idiot. Damage occurs when the heat is inflicted upon you. If the heat is not able to heat you up, you cannot get hurt.
Because your cells are literally cooking.
If you are absorbing all of the heat, you literally can't be damaged by the heat. It would not hurt because the thing that tells you you are damaged is the nerve cell cooking from the heat. Oh, this hurts. Oh, okay. Yay, I grab the toaster again and I push through the pain as I instantly absorb all the energy. Okay, I got this. It's not a lot of energy inside me. Just rip the fucking electrical cable out of the toaster or the microwave and just fucking stick it in your mouth and suck that shit down. Go lick an outlet, literally. Oh my god. You know, like, I see so many videos, you know, of like, oh, you know, the Zoomers, they'll all die out because they wouldn't be able to live in a world because they don't know cursive and they don't know how to read an analog clock or drive stick. And it's like, no, the Zoomers are gonna fucking die out if they have to rely on themselves to do anything. Because a Zoomer is going to be like, I'm hungry. And they'll open the fridge and they'll be like, why is there no food in my fridge? Every single time I've opened the fridge this week, there's been no food. No matter how many times I open my fridge, food still doesn't appear.
Don't you know food comes from the fridge, Sneaky? It just comes from the fridge.
I know. That's what I'm saying. Is like these fucking Zoomers are gonna be that stupid. Where they'll just be like, I don't understand. Like I was talking to someone yesterday, right? I was working on an on-set and I was talking with my RTO. And we were having some good laughs, and he was telling me he has 2 friends who drove their cars until they literally caught fire because their oil was never changed.
Oh, God.
And they didn't think you had to change oil. And he was in the car with one of them a while, like a couple days or a week before their car caught fire finally. And he was in the car with them, and he saw the oil light on, and he saw the temperature gauge on, and he's like, hey, you know, buddy, your oil and your temperature gauges are on. He's like, yeah, but if I keep driving, then they might turn off.
Oh, God.
And it's just like, some people are just fucking stupid. And unfortunately, in previous generations, in my generation, in Sign's ancient generation, stupid people were just stupid. In the Zoomers generation, they're not stupid because they're dumb. They're stupid because they live in such a fucking bubble. They can't comprehend that there is a world outside of the shadowed cave. Like, they could be in fucking, you know, for as much as it means anything these days, they could be in, like, AP Math. I'll use this as an example. I had someone in a grade lower than me, and we were doing projects, and they were presenting their project for that class in college, and they finished their project about how if we build like 15 square kilometers of solar panels in the desert, we would generate enough electricity to like power the world.
No, one of those morons.
Yeah. And so I raised my hand when he was like, "Oh, is there any questions?" I raised my hand and I'm like, "Yeah, I have a question. How do you get the power to Africa?" And he's like, "What?" I was like, "Well, how do you get the power to Africa?" "Oh, we run a cable there." "Right, but what about the electricity loss rate on the cable? It wouldn't reach Africa." What do you mean electricity loss rate?
Yeah.
And I kind of just looked at him. I was like, Are you really not? Are you really not fucking around right now?" He's like, "Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about." "What do you mean electricity decreases over time?"
Decreases over distance.
Yeah, I know. I know what he said. Over time.
He said over time. Okay.
Yeah. And I was just like, bro, this is 60% your grade, and you're really gonna sit here and tell me that you don't know how to transfer electricity somewhere when your whole project is about generating electricity and using it to power the world to solve fossil fuels, in your words? He's like, why can't we just run the cables? And I was like, I am not going to explain entropy to you, my dude. That's not happening. Also, by the way, his whole plan of solving world power, batteries were not included. Just solar panels.
Yes, of course.
You directly...
Well, okay, you could do it with supercapacitors.
No capacitors. Just solar panels.
Oh, no capacitors.
Nothing.
Okay.
Just solar panels. Just a field of solar panels, and then a power cable running from them to New York City. Nevada desert to New York City.
To New York?
Yeah.
Only to New York?
Well, I mean, every other city, too. In the world.
You wouldn't... Well, we have
Yeah.
We have a network of existing high-energy lines that you could tap directly into.
No, you see, those are pollution lines used by the pollution machines.
Oh. Okay, you might have to do a little connecting, but real talk, you might have to do a little connecting between them because they're not all connected. But yeah, okay, say you did build a solar array in the desert, and yeah, you could theoretically power the entire country off this array during the daytime, during the summer.
Yeah.
However, within 10 years, those solar panels are gone. They're toast. They're fucking done. But
sandblasted, yeah.
Yeah, not just sandblasted. Solar panels do degrade over time because of exposure to light and heat.
Yeah. But I mean, solar panels do have a minimum that they will reach that then takes a really long time to degrade from. Around 20% of their total original capacity is where it then takes like decades to even lose like 0.5% efficiency. You know, because they'll lose like the first 80% in the first 10 years.
Yes.
But then after that, it takes like 100 years. So yeah, you would have to build a shit ton more. Okay, fine. But yeah, no capacitors, no staggering the panels. So we have massive environmental change because solar collection causes heavy moisture to happen. And it's actually undesertifying sections of the Middle East and Upper Africa, where they
That's
do have.
That's actually a good thing.
Oh, it's sort of a good thing. It's undesertifying those areas because the moisture hangs in that area, and then due to the shade being provided and the wind break that the solar panels provide, it's actually allowing things to start growing there again.
Yep.
Which, I mean, it's funny, but it's also a massive climate change because actually the dust from the Sahara Desert is what's causing the Brazilian rainforest to be so prosperous.
Well, not just that, all of that shit, all the hot air coming out of Africa, blowing over the Atlantic, along with the dust, is what directly leads to hurricanes in our hurricane seasons.
Yes. Yep.
And I think the only reason that part of Africa is as bad as it is because of certain terrain features basically making one long, constant stream of wind through that area.
Yeah.
That has stripped it completely fucking barren.
Yes, among other things. Yeah.
Among other things, most of which are due to humans,
yes,
eating and cutting down and destroying everything in the area.
Yes.
The natives.
Yes. So anyway, I plug in the coffee maker. Going over to the coffee maker, I use the energy I have to enhance my strength to rip apart the coffee maker.
Ooh.
Pulling the metal pieces out of the coffee maker, I plug the toaster back in and turn it on. Oh man, this is gonna hurt so much. Sticking the metal from the coffee maker into the toaster, everything was agony before everything was white, and then I woke up in a dark and smoky room. So was I knocked out? Better than experiencing the full scale of pain? Wait, I'm sorry, if this shard can fucking remove stress from your brain by partitioning it, it's not removing pain?
No, apparently because data.
Also, you're strong enough to rip apart the coffee maker, but you just don't take electricity directly in from the source. You really have to sit there and convert it to thermal energy. You're really going to sit there and convert a fucking toaster to thermal energy. You're going to go inside to convert thermal energy.
Yeah. Author's a moron. You see the review I left.
I will.
I pasted it in the channel.
Let's try this. I access my stored energy. Guess what happens to a speedster who slams into a wall? Red pancake. But a speedster augmenting their body to be more durable? I break through the wall and don't look back. This is my first fanfic ever, so reviews very welcome. I'm new to the site uploading format. I don't have beta. Feel free to comment on any mistakes.
Oh, author, don't give me that invitation.
Can I? Hold on. Can I pull this off? M. Can I?
Oh no, what are you doing?
Hey, ChatGPT.
Oh no.
I wonder. So this is going to be actually a very advanced testing session for ChatGPT.
Oh no.
Because I am going to ask for it to try and point out all of the incorrect biology and other sciences make it usually okay. So let's try this. Please generate a list of everything, a list of all incorrect biology. What are the electrical sciences called? Material science?
No, that's materials.
Yeah, I know. The science of electricity. What is the science of electricity called? Electronics, really?
Electronics, electrostatics, electromagnetism, electrical engineering, just electricity.
Thermodynamics, I believe, is the other one.
Yeah, that is one.
And thermodynamics in the following text. Colon. Oh, shit. All right, copy. Paste. The protagonist's ability to heal instantly and be functionally immortal after a trigger event is not consistent with biology.
Obviously. But, you know.
Yeah, unfortunately, unfortunately, ChatGPT was not able to provide me with what I wanted. It is unfortunate, but such is life.
It can't look up your ass and read your mind.
I know.
Yet.
Impressive showing of how to not use Google while writing your story. Biology, thermodynamics, electronics, electrical engineering, and likely so much more. You have a really impressive list of things you absolutely talked out of your ass about. Maybe try not getting your knowledge off of TikTok. Posted review. See, what are the other reviews we got going on here? You absorb energy. Author, I have some news for you. We are surrounded by energy. You are being bombarded by solar radiation, activation, all bands, solar radiation. Heat, objects rotating, and it's all energy. You could absorb the rotation for 1/100th of a second and have enough energy to splatter literally anything within 100 miles of your position, then fly off into the sunset. But no, you and your infinite intelligence believe the best place to get energy from is an electronics store and decide to microwave a toaster. I am at a loss for words. Yeah, this is some. This is.
It was rough.
Rick Radorin, by the way, is the PJL. Percy Jackson.
Oh, wait, no. Didn't he? Aragon?
No, Percy Jackson.
No, you sure?
Percy Jackson. Yes. Aragon was written by fucking what's his name?
Oh, Christopher Paolini.
Yeah, Paolini.
Because I know he's also a big lefty vegan proponent because of the whole, oh, well, can't eat meat now because, I can feel them dying.
Yeah, that was actually fucking hilarious. He got clapped on by his daughter.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because his, 12-year-old daughter, back when he was writing these books, was, his beta reader, because he was obviously aiming these at kids, so he's like, well, if my kid likes it, then clearly, other kids will like it. And she clapped on him. She liked Aragon, and then it was either Brissinger or the other one. I think it was Post Eldest. The first two books were the only good ones, by the way. Fight me. It was either Eldest or Post Eldest. Where the guy went on to an interview and talked about how his daughter just absolutely clapped on him for some of the shit he was putting in the book.
Good. Nice daughter.
Indeed. Yeah. Wow, and Aragon was a V2. Oof.
Oh no.
Yeah, apparently he spent several years writing the first draft and then spent several more years rewriting the whole story. And
years?
Yes, years.
Author. I have some news. Bad news.
Chapter 11 shows the main character to be a hypocrite that will flip-flop between two extremes of psychological reactions. She is willing to watch as a hospital undergoes a terrorist attack that would kill 60% of the patients because she is unwilling to knock a single person unconscious. Meanwhile, she rips another guy's arm off and beats him to death with it. Yes, the number of survivors would increase with Panacea, but deaths would be unavoidable. Yes.
Woo.
Extreme temperatures inside of a medical facility are bad, very bad. Not only are many medicines extremely volatile, oh yeah, because they're all made of fucking oil, requiring storage under special conditions, but patients recovering from medical procedures, it would be a serious mess. This is a rather frustrating chapter to read. Yep. And then, so like you have all these people that are like, oh my god, dude, this story is so fucking amazing. You'll update more, please. Your story is so good. And then you have, these sane reviewers, and then you have these fuckers. Oh my god, why don't you just have Kitsu get injected with drugs and get her addicted to them so people can control her? This is Worm. Everything should always be getting worse. Why aren't there no mind control slaves already?
Yeah, that's typical Worm fans.
That's uncomfortable.
Is that what you just came back to?
No, I've been here the entire time. Just listen to this in the background. That one caught my attention there.
So it took to get you to speak up.
You guys had your rant about the energy. There wasn't much I could add there aside from just go pick up a fucking...
I always love checking the newest Worm stories because I find gems like this story.
Gems.
Does this person write?
Reviewer, that's not a gem.
Nope.
That's just a kernel of corn in the pile of shit you've been digging through.
Why am I not surprised? They also favorited Mama Snake in Brockton Bay. Yup. Not surprised. They also favorited Brockton's Celestial Forge by Lord Roustabout. The worst one. The Adventures of a... A story by Joe Lawyer, so probably bad. A Dark Souls Wormcross. Taylor is... Oh yeah, that one. That one's pretty bad. Greg Veter vs. the World. Yep, of course they've favorited that one. Teen Titan, The Four Elements. The Teen Titans were put on to the brink of death by Slade, except an OC shows up and saves the day and rescues them all, and now he has a giant harem of all of the females. Why am I not surprised that this author has favorited these stories? Summoned. An OC that watched the DxD anime is now thrown... High School of Dead anime is now thrown into the High School of Dead world. $579,000 words, 85 chapters, updated over the course of the past 4 years.
Not bad.
Why? A romance drama story in High School of the Dead. There will be no sex in my story. Well, at least there's that.
You motherfucker. The one good thing about High School DxD, which is HOTD, which is the fucking waifus, and you don't even go for it?
It's a 600. So normally I would say, yeah, what the fuck you doing? It's 600. It's a fucking fanfic. It's on you're on the wrong site. Blah blah blah. Whatever. This dude's written a 600,000 word romance story, and doesn't even have fade to black sex.
How?
Okay.
All right. I bet it's one of these Zoomers who think sex is weird.
Oh, you're
and
right.
They shouldn't talk about it.
Yeah. Tyrant. Brockton Bay gets an unstoppable force and an unmovable object in the same person due to the CYOA Worm version 1 Alexandria package. I remember this story.
Superman package.
Yeah. I remember this story when it was first posted on SB, and it was garbage then, and it's garbage now. But yeah, I'm seeing a lot of really garbage stories on here, and I am just completely unsurprised that this guy has fucking favorited them. If he goes out and says that this fucking worm CYOA is the better version, is a gem in the rough, I can see why you would say that. You have literally no standards or taste.
Well, he has standards and taste. It's just dog shit.
His taste is dog shit. Yeah, pretty much. Wait, someone's responding to Dancing Leaf? Trigger event, PRT, fresh trigger escaping S9. Why would Glory Girl attack the fucking OC with their trigger event? What the fuck?
Because they took worst day ever.
Yeah, info about trigger events was basically an open secret. Wait, okay, so chapter 8. Okay, let's go to chapter 8. So apparently he responds to the guest reviewer. I've received my first negative comment today. And then they retracted it 9 minutes later. The first comment was on 3, and the second was on chapter 6. And there was a definite tone shift. I have poor short-term memory, so I actually forgot what I write not long after I post it. You also sound like you forget what you write as you're writing it, because, you know, running inside to absorb thermal energy from a toaster, running inside away from the sun to absorb thermal energy from a toaster. To clear up something about Kitsu, she has the information of an adult, but not the memories and experience of an adult. Like, she knows what Static Shock is, the character from comic books, but can't remember watching the episodes.
What the actual fuck author? You are a fucking moron.
They don't have the experience. So by have the knowledge of an adult, you mean they can make references to things that came out in the 90s, and by not having the experiences of a 90s kid, you're saying that they're somehow retarded. Okay.
He's saying that he's a zoomer, yes.
I'll take the compliment. She is impulsive because all she has to care about is herself.
That is not why you would be impulsive.
And her power set combined with her lifestyle has led to a lack of lasting consequences for her actions. We've all met someone who lacks self-preservation or awareness, and Kitsu is that sort of person. Not malicious, just they lack long-term thinking, much like you, author. Oh yeah, here we go. Dancing Leaf. People tend to gloss over what happens with Glory Girl, whether it's due to her aura or her popularity. Trigger events as a whole are kept secret by the PRT. They actively keep the method to how people get powers a secret in order to prevent a mass panic. No. No.
Whoa. If they found out all of their heroes were mentally unstable, maybe.
I mean, okay, yeah, I guess. Alright, let's click on this. And let's look up the word secret. Wow, that's weird. I can't find the word secret on the trigger event wiki. It's...
Oh wow, that's strange.
It's almost like the author is talking out of his ass again. It's almost like trigger events aren't covered up and are actually just not spoken about because it's the most traumatic moment in someone's fucking life.
No, that couldn't possibly be it, Sneaky. You're using rationale and logic and facts.
Although
and
experts understand the nuances of a trigger event, the details aren't being given to the general public. Okay, that's not being kept secret. They're just not being like, hey guys, you know, this is how you do a trigger event. Which is a good thing. Because you realize how many kids who think they have it rough would try and go fuck their shit up just so they can trigger a trigger event? A lot. It's commonly believed that powers were genetic, even though this has been thoroughly disproved. I want to see the sourcing on that one. Let's see here. Genetics theory is popular, though has been thoroughly debunked. We're going to talk about how it was debunked. Okay. How it was debunked. Ah! Of course.
Did they trust the science?
They trusted the science. The so basically the chapter itself is from Clock Blocker in class, and the teacher is giving a speech. And he goes,
using Clock Blocker as a sock puppet.
Yep. The full statement here is the teacher is giving a speech, not Clock Blocker. Clock Blocker's just in class. There's a viral theory about an advanced virus, though it's flimsy at best in its justifications with no identifiable culprits, methods of transmission, or explanation. There is also a genetic theory that is popular, but has been thoroughly debunked, and we're going to talk about how it was debunked. And then that's where the entire thing cuts off, and we switch to a different narrative track about Clock Blocker talking about something else. And he doesn't talk. Yeah, so they literally, it's not genetics, guys. Trust me, bro. That is the source. Yeah, it's been debunked. Trust me, bro.
Oh, evidence? Yeah. Oh, hey, look over here at this.
Alright, so, and what's the reasoning for number 7 and 8 that was? Okay, so let's look at 7. Throughout this course, we'll be looking at correlations and patterns in relation to trigger events and other things. How does the nature of a trigger event shape the power? Psychological stress, higher prevalence of mentally driven powers. I mean, sure, physical violence and physically driven powers. Sliding scale, it's not cut and dry. A follow-up talks about more stuff. Family has powers, more likely for the other family members to have powers similar to them. It seems to transition from parent to child or from one sibling to another, but not from child to parent, and we'll talk about theories why. This just sounds like a lot of genetic shit here. Also, okay, so quite literally, they are basing this premise of the normal civilians aren't being given the real information on trigger events, because what the civilians are being given is studies done by experts. So the normal way civilians receive information.
Who were these experts? What were these studies? How were they conducted?
Well, obviously we don't know that shit. But my point being, though, is typically experts do studies, release those studies are then reinterpreted by, you know, an interpreter effectively, and then that's released as news to civilians.
Yes.
And the author of this Wikipedia page is saying that this process, even though it is also happening for trigger events, is clearly a blatant attempt to obscure trigger events from society.
Ah, yes. Makes sense.
Also, some of these studies are based on the Dallin family, which we all know is compromised from the fact that one of their kids is adopted.
Okay, assuming they're not talking about Amy and that, there's also the fact that it's compromised for, I don't know, Vicky being a product of of cheating.
Yes. Well, yes. But also my point is that they're talking about how powers can be inherited from sibling to sibling or from parent to sibling. And they're using like, oh, but this is not always the case because Amy has biokinetic powers and the rest of them have flying powers. So clearly, there is exceptions to this rule of family all having the same powers.
Oh, but every one of the Dallins has blonde hair except Amy, who is a brunette. Gee, I wonder how that happened.
Well, you see, you know, sometimes you get too much blonde hair, it just turns brown.
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
Yeah. Governments downplay the details of trigger events to prevent people from harming themselves to try and gain powers. Yes.
Now that I would believe.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally no shit.
Isn't that canon?
Probably. I mean, even if it wasn't canon, that's just sensible. It would be like in the Marvel-verse if people genuinely paid attention to how heroes and villains got their powers. And I believe there was even a point in time where they actually ran with this, where people did learn that it's like, oh yeah, that villain, yeah, his backstory is he stood next to a radioactive barrel at work for like 4 years, and so that's why he's able to like shoot laser beams out of his hands. And then like people went out and did that sort of shit, trying to get their own set of powers.
Did they just get cancer?
Yeah, there was one comic where some kid got cancer and shit like that, and it was like supposed to be this whole like moral lesson thing. Because you know, back then that was what they did. It was widely believed that strongest powers resulted from athletes, great minds, and other such exemplars who broke past some fundamental limit. Yeah, actually, yeah. Some of the strongest and most powerful heroes and most dangerous heroes were the strongest and most intelligent. Yeah. Discounting Vile.
Yeah, that too.
This was a part of concerted effort to spread disinformation about the process. Okay, what's number 10 say? Wildbow, direct from God. So I fucking hate this shit, let me tell you. I hate it when the author comes in and it's just like, okay, so I know some people have some questions about this, so I'm going to, in this Q&A, tell you what it really works like. And I'm going to retcon what I told you in the story now that I've gained new information and people's opinions about how I feel.
Or alternately, author, you could just say, look, the character's not actually informed on how this fucking works, so get over it.
This quote here from Wildbow is not even on a Q&A. It's Wildbow on an IRC chat one night.
Oh, God.
That is the worst fucking source ever. So yeah, I was just like, talking to the dude on Twitter, and he said, oh yeah, no, totally, this is actually how it works. Okay. Anyway, so, I don't know where the author is getting his information from, but it's fucking wrong. I'm actually going to ping him with that. Anyway, so trigger events are kept secret. No. Imagine the number of idiots who would do stupid shit. That's not what a mask panic is, you fucking... That's not what a mass panic is. People going out and doing stupid shit to try and get powers is not a mass panic. Oh, I hate this so much. Kitsu triggered during a Slaughterhouse 9 attack, but everyone glossed over it because Newfoundland was attacked by Leviathan. It'd be like if a murder happened during Katrina. It'd be no. They wiped out a whole fucking town. That would be like if
It'd be like if a town caught fire during Katrina.
Yeah, no, that'd be like if some town in Ohio exploded, but there was a hurricane in Florida, so no one paid attention to it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, that does actually happen in real life.
Towns exploding?
Towns exploding and people ignoring it.
That's fair.
Are you not aware of the fires currently, right now, burning down several towns because they caught the coal under the town on fire?
Oh no, I know about the dead town.
Multiple dead towns.
Yeah, I know about that. I know about the coal zone. Yeah. And it's like I always have to laugh at this shit, right? Because it's like, yeah, the world's largest natural gas reserve and one of the world's largest apparent coal mines have both caught fire.
Mm-hmm.
Weird, huh? Weird.
I mean, you can fix that. They've done it before. You know how they did it?
They filled it with CO2?
They nuked it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Russia,
yeah. It. That was an oil line though, wasn't it?
That was an oil line.
Yep.
But the principle stands. You could nuke it. It would knock it out. It'd be fine. It's a small nuke.
No, the reason why the oil line worked is because the nuke pinched off the burning oil from the rest of the unburnt oil.
Oh, yeah, there's that too.
Nuking the coal mine and nuking the natural gas reserve would not work because they were both super massive at this point in terms of what's caught on fire. And so there's no singular point of failure that you can target with a bomb.
It depends on how big your bomb is.
Right, but if you're trying to save the coal, nuking the whole area out of existence.
Stopping the fire.
Why would we stop the fire?
Because we didn't start the fire. It was always burning.
But we're just gonna let it burn. Anyway, now that we're done making ourselves feel old, referencing that song.
Yes.
I think we're done for the night. This author is just so fucking bad. Jesus Christ.
Self-targeted Curse of Ages.
Alright, well. Take care, everyone. We'll see you on Tuesday. There's always more, and it always gets worse.